take the image of roots and plants, okay? So we had the idea of foundation and roots, but we're gonna go with the image of roots. If we think of the obstacle being the plant that's above ground, we're now going to dig deep and follow the little roots down to where they are at the bottom, okay? And so Blaine's gonna take us through initially. So here, Pete, we have his obstacle, which do you wanna remind everybody?
Yeah,
is only the guy's heard.
so my obstacle is objectified through Amazon, which is that I just noticed in my life this sort of desire for something instant or something next. And so the example I give is like, I love books and I also need room because I can't put them all on a bookshelf, so I got a Kindle. But the Kindle, as soon as you get done with the book, you don't close it and savor it and go, wow, that was a really powerful ending, or man, that author had such really good thoughts. I need to chew on that for a little bit. No, immediately Amazon says, check out this book, right? So it immediately moves me from what was to what's next. And it's just something I've identified as a obstacle to my desire for more margin to be with my family and go after things that matter.
Okay, so this drive for the next thing, for the instant next thing. And so if that's the obstacle,
Yes.
well, what are some underlying reasons under that? What causes that for you?
So something that's underneath that would be this desire for novelty.
Okay, so let's see how to do this.
Okay.
So we're gonna do line here. Okay, so this is what you're gonna eventually be doing. So we'll write desire for novelty. Okay. What's another thing that might contribute to this sort of next?
Our culture's always about the next thing, so there's sort of entertainment, consumerism.
Okay, so consumer culture, our broader culture.
Yeah.
Would you say there's any other things that contribute to this drive?
Consumer culture. I think also is just the amount of use of technology. Use the example of the Kindle, right? If I was reading a physical book, that desire for next wouldn't actually be as present. So technology.
So we'll just put tech, okay? So we'll stop there, but there could be other ones that you could list.
Yeah.
Now, okay, those are three underlying reasons to this. That's great, but let's dig a little deeper. This desire for novelty, where does that come from? What are some underlying reasons for that drive for you?
One is probably in certain parts of my life, like a lack of rhythm or cadence. So instead of it being like, oh, I have this thing every week, which then it's not novel, but there's something to look forward to, it ends up feeling the need to find something new to fill in the schedule.
Okay.
So lack of rhythm.
Lack of rhythm.
And I would say, and in particular, when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking about my family. So like lack of some like family rhythms.
Okay, I'll put lack of family rhythm. Rhythms. Okay. Is there any other contributing causes for this desire for novelty?
That's a core one.
That's a core one. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I guess the second one with that would be the impact of COVID on travel.
Okay.
So loss of travel.
So when you say loss of travel, what do you mean by that?
So my wife and I love exploring cities and exploring places to eat, and so COVID sort of reset that. Then I had one kid and a second kid, and travel's not happened as much. So then I've lost something that was a part of my personality, no less.
Okay.
So travel would be the.
We'll understand.
Yeah, you'll understand, quote unquote travel.
Okay, it's more of like loss of fulfilling that desire.
Yeah.
Just to travel.
Yeah.
Which you actually said underneath that was circumstances of COVID.
Yep.
So if we were to do that, that would be
COVID.
COVID. Which I feel like that could be a reason for any of our obstacles that we might be facing. But well, let's take this one right here.
Yeah.
Lack of family rhythms. Why? Why are there a lack of family rhythms? What are some of the reasons for that?
Well, lately it's been a lot of different changes. So kids change in school. My wife's change in work would be 2.
Okay. Changes. Yeah, just stating in life.
Yeah.
So that was not as legible as I would have liked, but what else is contributing to this lack of family rhythms?
I mean, it's fatigue.
Fatigue.
Spending a lot of time with kids. With a child, that is, if you give a mouse a cookie. Sometimes they don't go to bed till 10 o'clock, and you're like, I don't have room for anything else.
Yeah. I'm going to take you down this one, fatigue.
Yeah.
What's causing the fatigue? I mean, you mentioned your kid.
Yeah. Well, so something that I've been chewing on recently is personality-wise, and then you might have heard of some of this. Like, there's this thing called the Rise app, and I've never actually paid for it, but you can do a free assessment of like, when do you typically go to sleep, when you typically wake up, and it'll start to map out what's like your optimal energy times.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it is I would name, I'm expecting energy when I should actually just be sleeping. So like
So false expectations?
Yeah, false expectations on performance
Mm.
is like a deeper thing.
Oh.
So what do I mean by that is, if I think about some of my lack of family rhythms and change in life and fatigue, well, to start to develop family rhythms, I need a plan, but I'm too tired to plan, but it's also probably because I'm not needing to do that at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
So, I mean, even with that, you sort of mentioned, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, would you put like just poor planning as part of this, or would that be under
It's
false
tied to false expectations and performance. Yeah,
So
so,
maybe that can be a,
yeah,
just put poor
Yeah.
planning to the side.
which then sort of ties into tech.
Okay. We haven't even done these other ones here.
Because tech then, I mean, there's a direct line of then, I'm too tired, I don't really know what I need to do, but I don't go to sleep because I feel like I need to do something. So then I try to find a new book,
Mhm.
or I go ahead and watch a show,
Mhm.
or you get caught. Mine is not, I don't doom scroll social media, but Google feeds get me because they know what I've searched in the past, so they end up knowing exactly what I'm looking for. And then that gets me into a deep article, scroll, and yeah, consumer culture, there it is. It all interconnects, but there is like, I end up then spending time on my phone rather than going to sleep and having then more energy tomorrow to do some planning.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
So, pause you here. So, in observing that, what are some what did you